Speaking of which, is like you might be the first guest that we've had on that's wearing tie dye, dude. I
Well,
love it.
I wore my tie dye in paying respects to George Porter Jr., who
Oh
played
God,
bass on this record that
you
we're
know
about to
way more
talk
about.
about.
You do, yes. I should wait to talk, but you know way more about the meters than I do.
Well,
Uh,
George is a friend, and my a guy that I toured
nice.
with for many years plays drums for George now. So, and George, he plays a gig every Monday, so he always wears a different tie dye. So I wore this specifically for George Porter because we're talking about the meters today. So
I love that. But before we get into that,
anyway, yeah,
Boogie, no, we're driving down the right road right
I'm
now.
in it. Yeah, I'm in it, man.
You've got an album coming out on November 14th. Am I wrong? Which is actually my birthday as well, Scorpios.
Oh
Perfect.
wow,
So
that's
yeah.
awesome.
So
Yeah.
what a
So it's
celebratory
called
way.
courage. It's called Courage in the Chaos. It's a bunch of songs that I've been writing throughout the years, and then some that I just wrote recently. And my friend Jim Odom, who owned Presonus, and he sold the company to Fender several years ago, and now he is wants to produce records, and he loves me and my music, and he's a good friend of mine, and so he helped me pick this collection of songs, and we did a few different sessions. We did some in Mandeville, some in New Orleans, and had some really amazing musicians on it. And the guy that mixed all the Foo Fighters records mixed it, and then we had this guy master it, and so it's a really cool record. It's a good record. It's a cool record. It's got many different styles of music on it. I don't really know who it's for, but that's what I'm. It's a lot of blues rock influence, a lot of Americana, and we're just hoping to find my audience.
100%. No, I trust me. I'm
So,
a comedian and it's the same thing because I know that I checking out your Instagram, your TikTok, and it's like, and even what we were talking about before is like you have your setup where you go up. How often are you going on there on live and just shredding? Because it's
dude,
really impressive, dude.
I have insomnia, so sometimes it's like 5 or 6 in the morning, and then sometimes it's at like 10 or 11 at night. So
Yeah.
I don't really have like a set time that I advertise, but I always get a ton of followers. And the general consensus is you're the best guitar player on here that's doing this hands down. And what I do that's different than a lot of people is that I'll improv solo to anything. I don't give a shit what it is. They can tell me play Mary Had a Little Lamb. They can tell me play Through the Fire and Flames. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna improv. I have my own style to where I just kind of dial in a few seconds and just roll with it. And my big thing is like whatever style of music you're playing, that's how you're supposed to think like mentally.
Mhm.
So if I'm playing a BB King style blues song, I'm not trying to be Eddie Van Halen. I'm trying to fit more in the box of what I'm playing. So that helps me to kind of people love that and people dig it. And I've been playing for 30 years and you know, whatever. I won the biggest guitar competition in the world in 2011. But
Wow.
music's not a competition though. We're all in it, just like comedy. It's like we're all in it together. I'm sure everybody wants the HBO special, but at the end of the day, you're all in it together, and everybody's just trying to take a slice out of the same big pie.
Yes.
So, I mean, we're
But
just all, it's all about supporting everybody. So
yes, but let me all right, it's not a competition.
no, but
But
you do
if
want to try some
somebody,
moves.
but
I mean,
but if somebody says, "Hey man, you ever seen that new guy Jimmy Longlegs? What do you think of his playing?" You don't lie because if somebody says that about a comic that's young or we don't find funny, we never go, "Oh, that guy sucks." We
no, no,
just
no,
go,
no.
"No, no, no, hear me out, hear me out." We don't go, "Oh, he sucks." We just go, "He's a really nice guy, great guy,
Yeah,
great guy,
yeah,
musician. He's a great guy. He
great
is a
guy.
great guy."
Yeah. No, and listen, I don't blow smoke, and I don't expect people to blow smoke at me either, man. Like if you like, you know, that's why I say like you know, I write different songs for everybody, but my stuff isn't for everybody. So look, I don't like people to blow smoke my way either. But um, yeah, I feel you. I feel you on that. You know, it's just kind of it's almost like killing them with kindness. I don't know.
Always.
In a way.
But that's so cool that this record is coming out and you've been working with a lot of great people. It's like, and we're gonna get to more of like your story as we get through this record too. But damn, it's like you know what you reminded me of. I was thinking because I love that you're doing that, you know, to find the audience, and that's how powerful something like Instagram and the Chinese owned TikTok,
Yeah. Yes.
where they're spying on you right now. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I shouldn't do that voice. Never mind.
Hey, dude, I
Oh.
don't care, man. Like unless they want to see me smoking herb in my underwear sitting on my couch. I mean, what else do I have to hide from them? You know,
Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing crazy in my house. You know what I mean? So I could care less what they do.
And dude, that tie-dye shirt says differently, bro. There's some crazy
Yeah, I
shit
mean,
going on.
well, I said herb, man. I'm a herb guy. You know, I mean, that's
Yeah.
all. That's all. I'm a long-haired hippie guy, man. You know, I'm
And you-
37. I'm 37, but I still fit in the long-haired hippie category. You know.
Totally.
So
And you were born and raised in Baton Rouge, is that right?
yeah, I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, and you know, I went to school in Livingston Parish actually, and the meth capital of the world, which I'm not proud of. But um, yeah, I dropped out at 14, got my first gig with a reggae band. My parents signed partial custody of me over to a black man named Henry Turner Jr. so that I could tour and play nightclubs. Uh, yeah, and I was 14, so I had a gig playing bass in this reggae band. That was like my first
that was
gig.
your
Yeah,
first
go
gig?
ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah, it's my first gig.
Well, what I was gonna say is, so obviously, it sounds like you've been playing music since like the jump. Like, when did you pick up the guitar? When
Six
did
or
you start
seven.
vibing? Yeah,
6 or 7. Yeah, my folks were always in gospel music. So I came up playing in church. Like my
okay.
grandfather always played guitar at church and all that. And then I started taking lessons at about 8 or 9. And they taught me how to figure out stuff on my own, you know, how to like have my own voice. So so yeah, so I always played by ear mostly. Like I know basic theory and all, but I'm really not a big theory guy. I just like kind of embody like my own sound, you know?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so
So it's funny that you say that. So I tour with this big musician, and he has a slide. It was a slide, the like slide guitar, a pedal steel. He does all
yeah.
of that. Yeah. He does the pedal steel. His name's Roosevelt Collier.
Rosie, oh,
Uh,
I'm great friends with Rosie. I play with him all every year at Jazz Fest. Well,
yeah.
not at the
So
festival, but I do a gig with him. Sorry, go ahead.
no, but
No, I love
it's
Rosie. We're good
yeah,
friends.
great guy, same kind of story, which I always found interesting, which is that in church his family was like, yo, you're playing pedal steel, so they just put him in front of it and they were like,
Yeah.
fucking learn it. And
Yeah,
now
and
he's
he's
amazing.
bad, bro. He's
Oh, he's a
he plays with
badass. Yeah,
Jelly. He plays with Jelly Roll.
and that's a guy I tour with. I didn't want to name drop, but
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. I'm
No, it's
sorry. I can
okay.
name
It's
drop. I
okay.
can name
It's
drop.
okay. I've been opening for him, and I just got off a tour with him and Post Malone in Europe, and so yeah. But it was like that, which is great for me, as a comic, because I'm making new fans and I'm meeting new people. But also, I love music so much. So seeing somebody like Rosie and hearing something like that, and then hearing your story and seeing how talented you are, where they're like, because that's like a Southern thing. It's not Jeremiah. It is not a Mid-Atlantic, New York, Philadelphia, Baltimore, any shit like that in the fucking South, because they believe in, well, I mean, which is so funny, Jeremiah, because you're so religious, or we're so religious, but you can't play even you can't even play like the spoons. Like,
Wasn't
you
in the
can't
gospel choir part of it.
Yeah,
no.
well, it's
Right.
not. You have there has to be a level of like soul, and you might be whiter than fucking Joshua
Very white.
Groban's, underwear. Like, you are.
That's right.
You're white as shit, and we can also tell the guy's name's Boogie, for Christ's sake. Obviously, he's got motherfucking soul. Rosie's a black dude, and then I met and then with the girl that plays fiddle for Posty. This is just something that same situation. They throw them into the music. And it just pisses me off because my dad, like, he played music, but it was like he didn't force anything on me. And if he would have, because I'm like a C at like 10 instruments, I could have been an A. I could have been in a church band.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
They didn't
I've
have it in
always
the
just had
synagogue.
flow. Like I've always just had a flow where like I can just play anything. Like
Yeah.
I mean, that's always been my thing. I play super fast, but I can also play slow, and I just have a way of like fitting in the groove, and kind of adding a texture that so far people have thought is needed. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
like to
Yeah.
talk. I don't like to talk about myself, but the only reason I'm not really out there more is because I've had some really shitty record deals, and I've put a lot of faith in people that I thought had my best interest in mind, but really didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was expected to ride a lot of coattails that I didn't want to ride. And it was just like so now I'm kind of like rebranding, trying to show the world that I can stand on my own. And it's okay because like some of my heroes, like songwriters like Chris Stapleton, Stephen Wilson Jr., you didn't really hear about those guys till they were 39, 40 years old. So I mean I'm still I'm still there, I'm still working on it.
Dude, you're young, man. Please don't. That's a great attitude to have. And it's the same thing, in comedy as well, where some of the biggest comics didn't pop until their 40s. And like my good friend and former guest of the show, Bill Burr, said, I'd rather be 36 and sleeping on a futon, working on my dream than be, to be in my 40s and have a house and doing a job that I'm miserable about.
That's
So
right.
you chose something and you're very talented. So we're really happy to have you on here, man, because, and you said the right thing. And I think it's a good way to intro us into the Meters. It's like, you have to have a feel of music. And if you have that feel, my drummer has always said that. His dad was like, dude, you got to have the feel. And it's not about, you don't have to read music. You just got to understand where the one is. Like, oh, this is the sound, and be able to match that sound or hear whatever's coming out. And I think it's just this thing that not everybody has. And I think that's kind of, I think that's kind of why, because I always am wondering, like, why are these albums on the podcast? And we've had the chance of doing, this is our second Meters record. I think we did, which one did we do? Fucking, is it Looky Pie Pie? That came in, where was that originally? That was at 220. We did that with Marsha Warfield. You remember that? We did it I remember I did that in the green room of the Comedy Cellar, Las Vegas. And they were like doing, people coming in, like, and them arguing with like drunk people in the background. But Marsha was from Night Court, so that was awesome. And so you're doing the only other record that is on here, which is Rejuvenation. It's the 5th studio record by New Orleans funk group The Meters. A little history about them for people that don't know. If you haven't, go back and listen to the first record, or the first episode. But the Meters cut their first 3 mostly instrumental records with Josie Records before signing with Reprise and recording 72's Cabbage Alley, their first album to feature mostly vocal songs and arrangements. Rejuvenation is the follow-up record. It's produced by Allen Toussaint. I hope I said that right.
Allen Toussaint.
You got it. And recorded at the brand new Toussaint Studios in New Orleans. Some of the songs on the album include horn section arrangements by Toussaint. We'll get more into that record, but this is basically what they're saying. The Meters are there from the mid-70s, risen to prominence with Allen's backing as his backing band, and they're stretching out of their grooves. Rejuvenation marks the point when the New Orleans 4-piece became a tight funk unit. And I agree with that, because Looky Pie Pie in this record, besides maybe 1 or 2 moments, isn't the same record whatsoever. Like, this is a funk record. And some say between them and James Brown and or the JBs, these are the originators of what goes on to be funk. And
well, also, like, this is like the South sound. I mean, you had George Clinton and P Funk with, you had Bootsy Collins and all those guys too. So there's a whole nother side of the funk sound. But these guys really kind of harnessed and kind of brought up uh, the Southern funk, you know, like the Neville brothers, and with Leo, you got Leo Nocentelli on this record. You know, they're just innovators, man. You know, like I guarantee that this record uh, influenced, 5 of the records that are on this list. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
because it's like, and they were all about space, man. It wasn't about like how many notes you could play in a measure. You know, it was about each instrument adding to the sound and creating the space. You know, and then that's what's so special about it. I mean, I've played it. I've played 3 or 4 of these songs in different bands throughout the years. You know, I actually played bass for Chris Duarte for a while, who's mentioned in the Wikipedia as covering "Just Kiss My Baby" and "People Say." You know, so I had to
Interesting.
learn. I had to learn that stuff when I was 16 years old on bass, because I played bass for Chris Duarte when I was 16 for a couple of months. I was living on the streets of Austin, Texas.
There it is.
So yeah, so I got
You
my buddy came in at like 7 in the morning. He's wired up, and he says, man, let's go climb Barton Springs, and I'm like, oh, I'm in my church shoes. And he's like, I'm like, all right. And he says, I'm gonna get you a gig afterwards. He said, I'll get you a gig with Chris Duarte or Guy Forsyth. It's my buddy Elders that plays drums. And we went and climbed Barton Springs straight up in my church shoes. And when we got up there, there was a cave, and we smoked a bowl with this green-haired hippie that was sleeping in this cave. Like, this guy was up in this cave. And then when we came down, he hit Chris up and got me an audition like that morning, and we went over there and you know auditioned for Duarte, and like I said, the rest was history. I was sleeping on my buddy Ace's couch.
I
Uh,
love that.
yeah, it's
I
crazy, right?
I love
But
that. Was there still a shitload of other homeless people sleeping on 6th Street at that time, or
oh
was it like
well, I was yes,
I was the
but
first?
I was sleeping. I was sleeping on this kid named Ryan's couch. This kid had an apartment. And it was me, this other homeless guy named Cece that was like the kind of like the old cowboy acoustic guitar playing, they called him CC Ryder. So
Mhm.
he was CC, and then there was this other guy named Ron, these 2 homeless guys. So it was me, CC and Ron, these 2 homeless guys, and this hippie kid Ryan that had this apartment. And we were all sleeping up in there. And then Ace, my buddy Ace that played harmonica, offered me a place. He saw I was talented, and he was like, "Man, I can get you some opportunities and this and that." So he kind of pulled me out of that place, and put me
Mhm.
in a different place, which I didn't know, dude. All I cared about was smoking green, and I was oblivious to anything else that could have possibly been going on in that place, honestly. But all I cared about was playing music, and uh,
Did you did
but
you did you I mean, so you're saying that they were doing a whole bunch of other gnarly shit and you just were like,
yeah,
oh,
they were
why
like,
you guys up all
like
night?
yeah, Ryan was into the needle, and
Oh
but I
yeah,
didn't find any of this out till later, though. That's the thing. Like, I didn't know until somebody told me, like 6, 7 months after I ever lived there, because he was real, you know, he did his thing, not really out in the open. So it was like, shit, I had no idea. I truly didn't.
hey guys, where are all my cereal spoons?
Right. Yeah. Right. Right. I mean, I get it. It makes sense. It's like, no wonder Brian slept a lot, I
Oh
mean,
man, he right.
you know, I
Who's
mean,
taking all my laundry
I,
quarters
dude,
again?
I was 16. I didn't care. I was like, when is the next blues jam? So I
You
can
live for
go
the
see
music, yeah.
Alan. So I can go see Alan Haynes freaking
Yeah.
play Parchman's Farm. You know what I mean?
So
So,
let me ask you a
and
question.
the
When
Sissy Strut, by the way, the meters tune Sissy Strut is a rite
Mhm.
of passage down here. Like, if you go to a jam and somebody calls Sissy Strut and you can't play the Sissy Strut, it's like that. It's like that. Yeah, he's a good guy thing. Get out of here.
Oh yeah, they'll kick you out, really? This is a big. I mean, because like just so everybody knows, because I feel like we gotta before we get into like really diving into the record or diving. What the fuck is diving, Josh? Learn how to talk. Here's a little bit about the meters as taken from our great friends at Wikipedia. We should be proud sponsor of the 500. Jeremiah, Adam, our researcher, and we call it sweet, sweet baby. Blue Eyes, Wikipedia. God bless their soul. I mean, and Morty. If it wasn't for Morty, I didn't have a time to meet with Morty today because I'm fucking trying to go to Vancouver and I waited too long and now the ticket's going to be fucking $9,000.
Oh my God. Yeah.
$3,000 on a weekend.
Yeah. There's a tariff on it, I'm sure. So.
But on a good note, me and my dog to celebrate her birthday tonight, I'm taking my dog to the movie. There's that horror movie from the dog's perspective.
Oh, dude, nice. God.
Yeah, so I'm going to take my dog, but I got to get her fucking service animal vest over from Aviva's. So it's a big night. Boy. Big night in the Meyers house.
Sounds like it.
Thanks for taking the time for me, man.
You actually hooked me up by moving this from last week because I had been in Europe for 2.5 months, 4 of those days with Jeremiah, taking psychedelic drugs and almost getting murdered at an after hours in Ibiza.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Do you remember, Jared? Dude, have you ever had that kind of happen to you, Boogie? Where they're like, "Dude, you're gonna play this gig. There's gonna be so many women there, and then you show up and it's all dudes." And you're like, "That's the same thing that happened to us. We went to this after hours, and the woman's like, dude, there's so many girls in here, man. Oh, there's gonna be it's pussy galore." We walked in, there was one French chick. And just 9 people standing in front of a DJ, yacked out of their brains. And that was Jeremiah was like, "Hide your watch."
That was the high point.
Yeah, I had to watch it be. Yeah, for sure.
No, but it was amazing. And then I came back and immediately had to fly to the Middle East for 4 or 5 days. And then I got back. And so just the idea we had to do one that we already had booked. And then I was like, because I knew we had a little bit of time, I was like, ask Boogie if we can just move it a week, give me more time with the record, because I was still on such a crazy schedule. You know,
oh, dude, I'm surprised you're even here now. Like that's the recovery on that is insane, man. Yeah,
well, you know what? Yeah, I stayed up for like basically a full like almost like 38 hours so I could get on the right sleep schedule, and now I'm good. And now I'm just like, you know, being back in New York and just trying to deal with all that. And it's funny because like, you know, there's sometimes where you're like, man, I don't want to listen to a record. I want to listen to this instead. Or I'm going to all these concerts this week. Like my buddies are playing in Philly tomorrow night. I'm going to that. Last night I just saw Deltron 3030 with Del the Funky Homo Sapien, Kid Koala, and Dan the Automator. And then I've got like My Morning Jacket's coming up. And I'm just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, which I know you probably vibe with them because they're Americana, but they're also like country and blues and everything.
Yeah, they do everything. Yeah,
they do everything. And Jim Sutton, the whole band's such incredible artists. And then they're like, "All right, you got to do the meters." And to bring it back to like when I was talking about, and I don't know if some of the listeners, some of the Fleece Army agree with me when we see these records coming up. But you know that first meters records, if I'm not mistaken, besides 1 or 2 songs, it was pretty much instrumental. So yeah. Yeah, so it's one of those things where you're like, "Oh man, am I just going to be listening to this?" Dude, I put this record on and immediately was like, "Oh, this fucks, dude. Like this is a good album, man. I really shouldn't." And I guess that's one of the good things about this gig is that you come in and music in general, you go, "I'm not going to like them," or "these guys aren't for me." And then you put it on and you're like, "Oh no, music's music. If it sounds good, it grooves with everything." And you know, and so I don't want to all the listeners and to you yourself, I want to say, like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm not interested in these records. I love it when I get blown away, and this definitely did blow me away. And that makes it so cool that you've played a lot of this shit before. So
I play Hey Pocky Way almost every gig. I've been playing Hey Pocky Way for 25 years, you know.
I love that, dude. You're playing that since you were fucking 11?
Yeah, I mean, it's like another rite of passage. I played with a horn band. I played with one of my mentors was Big Luther Kent, who's one of the biggest blues singers from down here. Yeah. And I played Jazz Fest for like the past 16 years with him since I was a child. Since I was, let's just say 18. So then So he plays it. He played it every year. Now he's passed away, and I'm singing for his band. I fronted his 12-piece big band at Jazz Fest in New Orleans this year. So I'm trying. I'm kind of keeping the legacy going, and we play that. We play that every show. I mean, it's like it's another like rite of passage song.
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
mean,
love
all
that,
those
dude.
two.
I love, and I got to come down there for Jazz Fest, man. I'm actually going to be in New Orleans. I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I feel like I'm saying it like a person that doesn't ever go there. New Orleans.
No, New
How do you?
Orleans is probably right. New Orleans is probably the right way to say it. Everybody says New Orleans. New
Yeah, but
Orleans.
I was gonna
when they
ask,
say
yeah,
when they
you
know
say
that
it.
because there's a funny comic who's from New Orleans, which is Sean Patton, former guest of the show, and he has a great joke about nobody says Nolans. Nobody says Nolans. He's like, you could talk to the most southern Louisiana man, and he does
I used to
this
say
whole,
New Orleans.
yeah, but
Honestly,
dude, I want you to hear this bit. I hope it's online somewhere, but he does this whole bit where he's like, you could talk to the most southern plantation, like New Orleans man. And he's like, well, I was out there on the bayou and there was a hot outside. And I asked my wife for a cold glass of lemonade. And then the wind blew, which was like a little quiff in the air, like that comes out the woman's vagina, a quiff. And then this person comes up to me and says, hey, where are you from? And I say, New Orleans. So it goes from like, oh, how you doing on the bayou? And then I'm from New Orleans. Like,
right.
it's just such I always think about that. And it's like the same thing with people in that go to Baltimore and they say Balmer. And I'm like, no one says Balmer. It's Baltimore. Like it's Baltimore is the right way, but we all say Baltimore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I would definitely be saying it wrong because I say
Yeah.
Baltimore.
Yeah. Well, no,
But I
that's
pronounce
right.
everything. I pronounce everything wrong though. So I mean, it's I don't
Welcome to
know.
my life. Welcome to my life
Right.
working with DJ Morton Coyle as my writer, where he gives me a word like that. I'm like, I would never say that. Like I don't even know it. I don't know what I say words wrong constantly. Like I say gregarious. I use it all the time. I have no idea what it means. I'm just like,
Right.
that's
No,
is that
I
how,
hear you. I hear you.
yeah.
I say things like, "Oh, well, that's a double entendre," but I have no fucking idea what that even is. I just know if it's like two things that sound the same, it's like, oh yeah, it's
You're close. I think that might be it actually. All right, so here's a little overview about the Meters. The Meters are a legendary New Orleans funk band. Their members include Zigaboo. Here, I'm gonna fuck this up. Modesty. Did I say that right?
Man, I
No idea.
always said modaliste or modaliste, but I'm probably
Modaliste,
saying
I
it.
think, right?
I call him Zigaboo because that's what
Zigaboo.
everybody else calls
Keep
him
it
too. Yeah,
Zigaboo.
Zigaboo on the drums,
Zigaboo,
George
that's
Porter
what.
Jr. on bass, Leo
No Centelli.
Nocentelli on guitar, thank you, and Neville
Yeah.
Brothers, Art Neville on keyboards, and Cyril Neville on
Cyril Neville.
Good
Yeah.
God.
Yep, Cyril Neville. I only know that because one of my old managers manages Cyril, so I know
Oh,
Cyril
right
pretty
on.
well.
Dude, but they've been playing and recording their own music from the late 60s until 77, played an influential role as backing musicians for other artists, including Lee Dorsey, Robert Palmer, Dr. John, love that chicken from Popeyes.
Yeah. Luther
Allen
Kent sang
Toussaint.
that too. After
Really?
Dr. John, Luther Kent sang it. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
we just did that Dr. John record. It's another one
I
of
did
those
a show
records.
with Dr. John one time. His eyes were like this. You couldn't even see them. And he came in, he was and they sat him down at the piano, he jammed, and I was 18 years old. And I'll never forget after the gig that everybody was like, "Oh, that was amazing, that was amazing." And my buddy David Hyde said, "You're never gonna get hired for this gig again." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Because you played behind your head." Because I was up there fucking showboating and shit, and he was like, bro, he didn't like that shit at all. So I was just a kid, but I mean,
Yeah.
I was out of line, man.
I get
I
it.
was always a front man type of guy. But so I played one show with Dr. John at Johnny Purple's place.
One
It's
and
crazy.
done. Huh?
But
One and
anyway,
done.
Yeah, I didn't
luckily,
mean to interrupt your
no, God,
synopsis.
no.
No, I'm glad you told the story.
By the way, not to bum everybody out, but his eyes were very unopened because he has glaucoma in both of them. I'm so sad. No kidding, everybody. I have no idea.
No, I mean he was on medication at that time for sure.
Oh,
I mean,
okay,
I don't
Jesus.
know.
Okay, well then I just
I don't
made.
I don't know what it is. I always tell everybody, you know, when you see those old ladies in Walmart and their eyes, they almost look soulless and they're kind of glassy and they're just walking around like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cholesterol medicine. It really
Oh
is.
my
Yeah.
God. Can I get some?
So
Because that
I
sounds
know,
awesome.
right? So
I want it
anyway,
for
sorry.
I want it for that.
All
No,
right.
no. So we mentioned some of their songs. I had no idea that the Neville brothers, but basically Art Neville, staple in New Orleans music scene for over 5 decades. You know, Zigaboo, widely considered an innovator of the funk genre and New Orleans style drumming due to his work with the band. I mean, George Porter, like, you know,
He's
basically
the godfather of New Orleans bass. You know?
Godfather of New Orleans bass. Did you, and you said your parents, because he got into it because of his parents. You're saying your parents love music too. You grew up in the church.
My parents did. My parents sang gospel music, and my grandfather played guitar, and then he was a minister and sang gospel. So I grew up, you know, in that. Like my biggest influences were fusion bands and gospel music. Like I didn't listen to AC/DC and Stevie Ray Vaughan and Jimi Hendrix, and I mean I did, but not like I didn't spin like the plastic off of those records. You know, like
Yeah.
I listened to singers, dude. Like I was into like great singers, you know, a lot. So anyway,
What's your Mount Rushmore on singers? Who's your 5?
holy macaroni, man. That's that's a tall order. It really is. I mean, for like Steve Perry's definitely up there for like rock singers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think Haley. There's a chick named Haley Westerna, and she's a white girl, and she has the most perfect voice for a white girl I've ever heard in my life. She just never falters pitch. You know, it's like so she sings with the Celtic Women. I mean, dude, it's to be honest with you, it's mostly people you never even heard of. Dorinda Clark Cole is one of my favorite singers. Jill Scott is one of my favorite singers.
Love Jill
Yeah.
Scott. She's great.
So I mean, you know, she's just crazy. Like she ain't worried about being out of key, which she's not a lot of times. She just reaches for funny shit. And
Yeah.
I love that because it's like it's she has a very playful style. And it's cool, you know. And then
Mhm.
I don't know, you know. I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna stop there.
I'll take that.
Karen, you know, Karen Clark, the Clark sisters, like the gospel group, the Clark sisters, are like some of the best singers in the world for sure. So
Sure. No, and I mean you have an incredible voice too, by the way, man. I can see why you're the front man and that's why you're not backing other people. I mean, you probably jam with others, but dude, you really have a powerful voice. When did you
man.
realize?
I grew up singing choir. I mean, I grew up in children's choir, so I always sang, but I was always kind of shy. I kind of hid behind the guitar for like the first few years of my like music journey. And then
Mhm.
a friend of mine told me, "Hey, my Sundance told me, hey man, you have to open your mouth and sing. Like there's millions of great guitar players, but you know you can stand on your own if you're writing and singing. You know."
Mhm.
So then I kind of started doing that, and my first couple records are okay. I wasn't singing that good on those records, but I mean my writing was good, the songs were good, but I I definitely sing stronger now. But my voice has grown over the years, and now I'm just kind of, you know, I mean, I'm in a comfortable place, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I have a sound that's working for me, and I do love singing harmony and playing behind people and stuff too. But playing festivals is my strong point, man. I always outsell the headlining artist and records. You know what I mean? Like I always have these little moments of things like that are cool. Like um, so I just love doing festivals and stuff like that. Is
Mhm.
my favorite thing, you know.
No, I
But
love that, dude. I'm definitely going to come check you out, and hopefully, when I come to New Orleans in November, like, if is it close to where you live, or
Yeah, dude, I'm an hour away, dude. We can have lunch or something. I'd be totally down for that. We
I'd
should,
actually say
and
come
if you're
come jam
there,
with us. Come jam and play some guitar one of the nights. We're doing 3 nights at Skankfest doing my music comedy show where comics do stand up and then they sing a cover song and it's the biggest show at the festival. We'll probably have like 2 to 3,000 people and I can throw you like a couple tracks that you could come up and just
dude,
fucking and just rip on.
I would love to do that. I would
Yeah,
absolutely love to. Please,
well then
please.
it's a fucking date, dude. It's a date.
Yeah,
It's a date. Just as long as
it'll
I
be
don't get
awesome.
killed at another after hours with Jeremiah. All right, let's
Yeah,
talk
well, you
about
gotta be careful. Less psychedelics, till November's passed. Man.
Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen, man. New York is boring as shit right now. All right, so here's a career arc of this band. Here's a career arc. So it's from 69 to 77. The band released 8 studio records. In 69, they released their self-titled debut, which included the biggest hit, Sissy Strut, and then Look a Pie Pie came out that year, followed by Struttin' in 70 and Cabbage Alley in 72. After a label shift in 72, the Meters had difficulty returning to the charts, but they worked with Dr. John, who hates Boogie, unfortunately.
Yeah,
We love
hates
you.
you.
Hates you, but we love you.
Showboat.
Paul McCartney, King Biscuit, Boy LaBelle, we did them, and Robert Palmer and others. And then in 74, the record we are talking about came out, Rejuvenation, followed by Fire on the Bayou. One of the interesting things about this band, and I think I talked about it on the Marshall Warfield episode, but Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones, if you don't fucking know, or if you've been under a rock, once said that they were the best, and I quote, the best motherfucking band in the world. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't have it in front of me, but I saw this somewhere that and Jared, maybe you can find it in his notes because I saw it, but I lost it. But he had them. Oh, here it is. I found it. It's 70. Well, this is here. There's a little scoodle about him. Paul McCartney invited Meters to play at the release party for his Venus and Mars album aboard the Queen Mary in Long Beach, California. We did talk about this. And Mick Jagger of the Rolling Stones was in attendance at the event. It was so greatly taken with the Meters and their sound that when the Stones were touring in 75, the Tour of Americas and Tour of Europe in 76, he invited them to open for them. It was the same year that the Meters recorded one of their most successful albums, Fire on the Bayou.
Yeah.
They've done Saturday Night Live. They've been up for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken, a few times, have not gotten in. Nominated 4 times for induction, most recently in 17. In 18, the band was presented the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award. Other accolades include the recipients of the Lifetime Achievement Award, second annual Jammy Awards in 2001, and Sissy Strut inducted into the Grammy Hall of Fame. Yeah, man. I mean, let me ask you a question. Let's go back to that. Rolling Stone, the best motherfucking band in the world. That is a big compliment to get from a big artist. What is the best compliment you've ever gotten, and who is it from? From an artist that you look up to?
Okay. BB King called me up. I did 15 shows with BB King in 2013. And he called me up on stage after the second show and he said, "Boy," he said, "you sure can play guitar." I said, "Thank you, Mr. King." He said, "I stole some of your licks." I said, "That's okay. I stole all of your licks."
Yeah, I love that.
So that's pretty cool. Jimmy Vivino, who was Conan O'Brien's band leader when I was at King of the Blues. Well, before I got on stage, Warren Haynes told me, go get him, kid, And then when I got off stage, Jimmy told me, "Man, you were the only one that got it. Like you're the only person that came up here and actually got like what the mission was, out of the top 5 guitar players in the whole country, because we went through 5,000 people to get down to us 5, and then it was like, I played last, and when I walked off stage, Jimmy told me that he said, "Man, you were the only one that got it," which was kind of cool.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Having BB King say that to you, being that BB King, dude, and you played 15 shows with him. That's only 3 more shows, and you matched his child amount.
Yeah, see, there we are.
Are you showing the photo? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I love that. Yeah, dude. How old are you in that photo?
20, 23, 20, 23, 24, something like that.
Wow, man. Intimidating being up there, like with, You know, I mean, it's got to be. It's always like when as a comic, if you see like some of the bigger comics, they'll sit in the back and watch the younger comics at the club, like at the Comedy Cellar, to almost intimidate them. Do
Yeah.
you feel that in music as well, or is it super? They
Not
want you to succeed.
not really, man. Not really. Because I know, like, um, you know, I know that what I have is strong too. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Whenever you're confident, it's not even about having a big head or any of that. It's just about knowing, that what you have is special too. So like I say, it's not about being the best, but it's about just being a part of the picture. And yeah, I don't really feel that. I mean, I'm not going to say that I haven't been up there with people that are intimidating. I mean, Joe Bonamassa is a great guitar player. Eric Gales is an amazing guitar player. Like getting up there with like some of my heroes, that can be more. It's more of an honor than it is intimidating. But it can be felt as intimidation as well. You know, but
yeah.
um, I just I've been
Trusting
that
yourself.
guy.
Yeah.
I've been that guy on stages with people where they're like I'm not going to name any names, but recently, within like the past 2 years, we had a pretty big time blues guy come up here and do a show, and I got invited to go sit in. And after we're all three up there playing guitars, whatever. And after I get down, he goes up and tells my buddy. He says, "Hey man," he says, "that Boogie Long don't play nice, bro." He said that guy's. He said don't. He said I'm all for having people come sit in, but that guy's ferocious, and don't bring somebody like that out. And another guy came through town about 6 months ago. A kid who's out on tour right now. I'm not going to say his name, but they hit me up and they said, "Hey man, we need an opening act." And I said, "Okay, well let me put a band together." So I put this band together. I get all the musicians together and everything, and I hit the promoter back and I said, "Hey, we're gonna take this gig. We're gonna do this opening gig." And they said, "Okay, well we have to get it approved by the tour manager." They were never able to get it approved because they didn't. It came back that they didn't want to have another hot shot guitar player on the gig. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. So you play to
yeah.
win.
So
It's not even
then,
play to win. It's just you can't. It's like you gotta. Your element is fire. Like you're
yeah. I
like
mean,
you're not just gonna hold back just which is tough. And a lot of people and take that as a compliment, man. Like there's only. I mean, I'm very lucky that some huge comics that brought me out on the road, but
yeah.
others get intimidated when and I'm not saying I'm great by any means, but I
Me
think
either.
much
Me either.
but I think Boogie Boy, I think you and I are very similar is that we're swinging for home runs and
Right.
we'll miss big and we'll hit big.
That's right.
And I'd rather swing trying than just half-assing a show. Dude, I did a show last night for like 20 people in a dead room here in New York. And
Yeah.
I'm sweating by the time I get off, and all the comics
Yeah,
after
because
me is
you
like,
you still had a good time. You had fun doing it.
you
Yeah.
have to, that says a
Uh,
lot about you. So don't take
one of
that
my
as don't
favorites.
take, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going
You,
to say, don't take it as a diss, man. It's a
uh,
compliment to not be
Well, I
bringing
don't.
up.
I was on the road, man. I was on the road with somebody. And people that know me can figure this out. But I was on the road with somebody that actually produced two of my records, and I was using this person's band to open for them, and they eventually took me off of the band opening and put me on acoustic because we were bringing the fire. You know what I mean?
Oh, I bet.
And
Yeah.
and the next thing you know, I'm put on acoustic opening for this person, and it took all my fire away. I'm no longer selling merchandise. I'm not getting people following me anymore because I went from throwing fireballs to being the next John Denver. Up
Yeah.
there with an acoustic, and it was just like it took all the passion away.
Yeah. That,
Uh,
like I said, man, don't be disheartened by that, man. It's a compliment. It's a
yeah.
compliment. And I
Oh
can't
yeah.
wait to have you on stage. Watch me be like, we'll do one show and I'll be like, yeah, that's it, bro. You're
Yeah.
making me look bad. You're making Joel, my guitarist, look like
Hey,
shit.
my favorite comedian ever, uh just as far as delivery and stuff goes, he wasn't even never that big. He was never a big
Who is
guy.
he?
Ron Schock.
Oh, I don't even know who that is. That's how big
Yeah,
he is.
Ron Schock used to tell stories about buying van seats with Myrtle. He was a real Southern country guy, but he talked about where he visited West Mississippi, where when it was in the central east part of the state. And
Mhm.
he was funny. His delivery's funny. But check out Ron Schock. You'll he's funny.
Book him,
Really.
Emily. Book him. Get him on the pod. All right, let's
Well, he's
dive into some of the
dead.
meat.
He's dead. So if
Oh,
you get him on the podcast, you got to get Jimi Hendrix and Elvis City.
get Jimmy. Get John Bonham. Get
Yeah,
Paul Rubens. I could keep going. Get
yeah,
the dude. Get the dude from The Godfather and Dog Day Afternoon. I can't think of his
that's
name for a
right.
second, but he died. Get anybody that died. Emily, book
Get
dead people.
all the dead people. Let's get them.
Let's get
I
him.
see dead
Let's
people.
shoot for the
Who was
moon.
that? I see dead people.
Oh, come on, Haley Joel Osment, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fucking the Sixth Sense, dude. Come on, you're 30. You're 35.
Yeah, I
36. You should
know. I
that
just
shit.
couldn't remember his name. I seen him. He was just in the golf movie, the new Happy Gilmore. Did you know he was the big guy?
I did not. No, I did not. I did not
The
see
guy
that. I
the
haven't.
guy with the crazy swing. That was him.
Oh no, shit. I got to watch the new
Yeah.
one. I don't watch television anymore. I am at the age where once I lay down, I fall the fuck. It takes
Oh,
3 or
I
4
feel it.
nights. 3 or 4 nights for me to get through like a half hour to an hour program. Like I'm still trying to watch the final episode of Lost, and that came out 12 years ago. So to give you an idea.
Yeah, I feel it, dude. I'm the same exact way. Believe me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one pothead to another. You know what I mean? I get it.
Yeah.
Get a little
Oh yeah.
scoodle in
Yeah.
you. You're
I
good to
don't have
go.
time. I can't even focus on that. I'm like squirrel.
So let me ask you a question. So
Yeah.
like I know you dig music, but when did you first hear about the meters? Like how did it come into your life?
Oh, dude. Well, I mean, I played. Like I said, I played with Henry Turner growing up, and I played with all these old blues cats. So I mean, going to blues jams and stuff, you had to know Sissy Strut. I'm telling you, it was like, hey man, all right, we see you can play a shuffle in E. Now you got to be able to play Sissy Strut because next week we're gonna do it. You know. So I
Mhm.
mean, it was like a rite of passage. So that's the meters. So I mean, then you find out who they are. Then you start listening to other stuff. And uh, like I said, I didn't really get into this record until Chris Duarte asked me to learn those tunes when I was playing with him. But I mean, I've known all those guys my whole life. I mean, I've played on stage with Ivan Neville. I've played on the same shows as Aaron Neville. I've played with Leo Nocentelli in 2012 when I won King of the Blues. I did the NAMM show in January 2012, and they invited me to sit in with the Meters at the Mint.
Mm.
But it was Leo Nocentelli's version of the Meters. It wasn't like the official version.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I played with George Porter because my buddy Terrence Houston plays drums for him. So, I mean, I played on stage with George Porter. Um, I've probably played with Zigaboo. I can't really recall because drummers like sometimes you just get up there and you don't even realize who's back on the drums.
I
Like
get it. Yeah.
the lights are bright. You're going, where's the amp at? And you don't even know. It's like who, but you know, like I said, actually played with some of those guys throughout the years. So you had like you don't play music in Louisiana, you don't play music in New Orleans without knowing who the Meters are, without knowing who the Nevilles are.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
just that those two groups are you just know it.
All
You
right,
know.
here I got to ask you this because this is because I almost Jeremiah. I almost tried to get Fetterman to come on because I thought he would get a kick out of Boogie because I sent him his music and unfortunately he was doing a screening. We have one of our like not most popular guests, but probably like our fill-in guy when somebody drops out because he's just my homie and he's a big comedy legend. This guy Wayne Fetterman. He loves guitarists and he loves it, and so he's done like Bobby Blue Bland and one of the guys I want to mention. Is thoughts on Professor Longhair?
Oh, awesome, dude. He's the man. I mean, he's like everywhere you go down here, you hear his music. I mean, you can't walk down the river walk in New Orleans without hearing Professor Longhair. You can't walk through the French Quarter without hearing Professor Longhair. You know, I mean, he was probably the single most influential piano player from New Orleans. You know, him and Fats
Yeah.
Domino. Period. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean,
All right.
he's not dude. I'm 36, so I mean, those guys are way out of my years when it comes to like actually being able to see them live. You know, like the older cats like that, but
Yeah.
their music till this day inspires stuff. You know, still inspiring people. You know.
Oh,
I
dude.
mean,
Dude,
And
wait.
the
Tippy
meters
T-Rex,
have
right?
inspired me, dude. I've
Mhm.
written funk, dude. I've written funk tunes that, like, you don't write funky lines in a tune without reaching back for inspiration from like the meters. You know, like
Yeah.
that's where that stuff comes from. I
Well, I
mean,
love that.
you have to
Let's
hear, you know.
you know, everything you're saying is right, which leads me to what I wanted to talk about is that this is a band and this record, Jer, like I don't know if you've seen this, how many people have sampled. It's almost like because you said
Oh,
that
yeah.
thing, it's about the space,
Yes.
and they've left. It was almost like the meters were like, hey man, in about 20 years, there's going to be this music called hip hop, and there's going to be this thing called sampling, and they're gonna let's let the music breathe a little bit so they can
Yep.
pull some drums, they can pull guitars, dude. One of the songs my shitty bedroom hip hop group, the Shekels, we sampled or actually played over. We looped "Just Kissed My Baby," the beginning of it,
Yes.
and
Yes.
so that loop. Like when I heard it on this, I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "No shit." It's like if I was still in touch with MC Colcock and MS Berg, I'd hit him up. But Paul's wife, I think, hates me, and Dead Cat, he dropped off the face of the earth. But I mean, just the amount of people that have sampled the meters. I mean, maybe just not just from this record, but I'm talking Heavy D, LL Cool J, Queen Latifah, Big Daddy Kane, Run DMC, NWA, which we just did, Ice Cube, Be Real from Cypress Hill, former guest coming out next. Oh, I shouldn't say that. All right, yeah, I fucking buried the lead. Guess what, everybody? We have Be Real from Cypress Hill next week, so get ready. Public Enemy, A Tribe Called Quest, Beastie Boys, Naughty by Natures. I mean, you've had Red Hot Chili Peppers. They covered the song Africa. Primus covered Tippy Toes. I mean, this is like, it's the String Cheese Instrument wise. See, I see stuff like, I could see like the Grateful Dead and Widespread Panic and String Cheese, but that's also like really, really like just the amount of artists that, because the same thing with the JBs, like with like a lot of those breaks, man. It's like you hear it and it's almost, it, especially because I know you love blues and you love Americana and everything we've talked about, Boogie. But it's like, as a musician, you can still, we have that thing where it's like we'll listen to something and go, oh, those are the drums from When the Levee Breaks. I hear that immediately. Or that's the break from this, or that's the sample from this. And it's like there's so much music while listening to this. I really wish I would have gotten another 2 listens of this record to really just pick out and pull out say, all right, well, let's go song by song and find the samples. But for time we can't do that. But let's talk about a couple of go ahead.
There's so much space. There's so the space creates the moment,
Sure.
And space creates a groove, man. That's how, like, the space is how you get each part of your body moving, and for like, and what I mean by the space is like the drums is playing exactly what needs to be played over the bass, and everything is fitting together like a puzzle. It's not all jumbled. You don't have this guy trying to play over this guy, trying to play over this guy, and it sounds. It's all like it's like crocheting. It's cohesive.
Yeah, man.
And it creates the moment. It creates the groove. It really sets the groove, and that's what gets people moving. And it inspires the artist that's writing the song that wants to use that as a sample. It's getting them grooving. They're going just this from and they're grooving, And then next thing you know, it's like they've inspired somebody else. That's my point of them just being inspirational.
Yeah, and this was I mean, people say great opening track, Love Is For Me, but Just Kiss My Baby. I mean, that's 4 minutes and 43 seconds of just deliciousness. And I mean, you can from Leo's guitar riff, it's just so great. And then Ziggy with the singing on the top of it. It's really just great, man. It's an incredible song. Like I said, Public Enemy sampled this to Shekels. Where is it? What's a song that's popped up that you weren't expecting it? Like in a movie, what's something that when you were like, just any form of art other than just listening to another record, but what's something, has there been a movie or a TV show that you were like, oh my God, I fucking know that song. And you were like blown away that they would use that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'll give you here's an example. I was at a Blues Traveler show at Jazz Fest, which is a family friendly event, and their intro song before they ever got on stage, they blared it ear bleeding loud. Was America Fuck Yeah?
Oh, I love that.
So there's an example. Like, I can't believe they used that song.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It's probably not the example you were looking for, but
no, that's even better, because I would not have expected Blues Traveler and then
ear bleeding loud, dude. Like children were going, and they're like, "Fuck yeah, save the motherfucking day!" Yeah, and I was just like, "Holy shit!" Man.
It's such a great song. I hate it when it's like, I hate it when like the music doesn't match. Like I loved that series Alien Earth that just came out. That's the one show that I watched, and I watched it literally only because I would watch it on the tour bus, or I'd watch it on the flights. And at the end of every episode, they would put on like and like all songs that I like, but just never fit. Like it would be like Animal by Pearl Jam to end. She's like, "What are we gonna do about these aliens? They're attacking all of us," and she's like, "I don't know." And you're just, all right, I guess Eddie Vedder's voice, works, in this situation. But they played like Tool and they played like Rage, and it wasn't bad. It just didn't feel like the right songs to end. And I love whoever the music, it was almost like I was the music director, just like listening to like my grunge rock playlist. And I was like, but yeah, back to the fucking album. We got a little bit of time left, so let's focus it on this, Josh. What are you doing? Just talking about Alien Earth again. Just Kiss My Baby. What about Hey Pockaway? Did I say that right?
Hey Pockaway. I mean, that's a second line, man. So like, second line is when somebody dies, they get out on the street and they second line their soul away. They want it to be a party. They don't want you to be sad. They want to celebrate, because you're transitioning, right? So basically it's a Southern excuse to throw a party, and then everybody gets out in the middle of the street and dances. They call that second line, but that right? That's the groove. That's called a second line groove. So whenever we're going to play Hey Pocky Way, we'll turn around and we'll say second line. It's Hey Pocky Way. And then everybody will take out their handkerchief or their rag, and they'll start waving it over their head like this, right? And we'll get a big circle going. We'll get a big circle. Like at Jazz Fest, we had like a 500 or 600, 700 person train going all around the tent, right? And everybody's waving a rag. So yeah, that's Hey Pocky Way. It's a vibe. That's what I'm trying to say. It creates it's a New Orleans. It's almost like a New Orleans hymnal that always brings the spirit. As soon as you start playing it, they know it. They know it. It's almost like our Mary Had a Little Lamb. You know what I mean?
It's like they say, like Bittersweet Symphony is the British national anthem. It's like if you put on Hey Pocky Way,
it's the Louisiana national anthem. I mean, truly, especially if you're in the New Orleans, if you're just into that culture.
It's not to cut you off, but it's so funny. It's like I can imagine, like there's like there's many forms of transportation in New Orleans. Like you could take a bike, you could maybe get on a tram, or you could get in a car or the bus. But the main source is just joining like a marching band. like there's a 2 o'clock marching band, and then
dude, there's all kinds of stuff. Dude, they got the naked bike riders. They got people that ride on bicycles naked through the city sometimes. They got the old trolleys. You have like all these old 60 and 70-year-old women on freaking bicycles just biking around with baggage. I mean, yeah, it's
I
crazy.
I saw that in
dude.
San Francisco one time.
New Orleans is wild, man.
Oh my God.
It's wild. It's
love
the only
that.
place I know. They got a bar called Miss Meyers. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The only time it's closed, probably in the past 70 years, is when Katrina happened. You can die in that place, and they'll just roll you out with their foot. Do you understand what I'm saying? Just we're gonna keep going for business. It's all concrete. It's all concrete. So they spray it down with a fucking water hose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Boogie, what's your favorite venue in New Orleans?
to play. Well, I mean, I love Rock and Bowl. I owe John Blanchard helped me out in my career a lot. He's the owner of Rock and Bowl, so I've always been a supporter there. But as far as like vibe and just to play, man, I love Tipitina's. I love Tipitina's. It's such a historic place, and it's they do it. They do it for the right reasons, and it's so it's a special place. I think Galactic has something to do with it now, but I've always enjoyed Tipitina's, man. Tipitina's and the Rock and Bowl, they're both, what and what for me.
And that's
I love
where
DBA on Frenchman Street.
Oh, I love DBA. DBA is one of my favorite. DBA is definitely one of my favorite places to play during Jazz Fest because it's always packed, man. Always. You always have a good crowd. And it's crazy because you'll be standing, like the last time I played with Rosie in there, we're standing in there and the show's supposed to start at 1:30 and it's 1 o'clock in the morning, right? And they've cleared the room out and there's not a single person standing in there. Next thing you know, 2 minutes later, it's completely packed. Everybody went out, they recharged for the next show, and it's completely sold out, packed again in 2-3 minutes. And it's insane. It's just insane. One of my favorite places to play on. It is my favorite bar on Frenchman Street. DBA for sure. Yeah.
That's cool.
I love it. What's the and just to start wrapping this up though, like because you played so many great gigs. What's your like swan song gig? What's a gig that you played that you're like, man, I don't think it'd get much better than this?
Man, I do it every year, bro. But I always look forward to playing Jazz Fest just because I know
your spot, huh?
That's my spot, dude. I've made a lot of connections there. I've played a lot of shows there. One day I want to play Red Rocks. That's my swan song show that I want to play. I was supposed to play it with my first manager, and it just didn't end up happening. And obviously, I'm not a big enough artist to sell enough tickets there. But even if I opened for somebody there, it would be like a really, like if you ever played there and you needed somebody to play kazoo, maybe I could come and I'm just saying, just like any way whatsoever.
You hear that, universe? Make it happen for this guy.
Right.
Yeah,
that's right.
Dude, you're incredible, man. This is we definitely love to have you back. So this has been so much fun. We ask everybody these same questions to wrap up the show. What's your favorite song on this record?
Oh God, Just Kiss My Baby.
Just Kiss My Baby. What is this a no skip record, or is there anything you skip over?
Definitely a no skip record. Unless you don't want an 11 minute and 51 second version of It Ain't No Use. But I think you need that in your life though. So don't.
I like that. I didn't get tired.
Yeah, I
don't
know.
really.
That's what I'm saying. It grooves so hard that they needed almost 12 minutes of it. So
yeah, it's like listen, we've done this podcast for so long, and there, Jared knows that there's been artists that I, we did a lot of artists wrong. We did artists backwards, like Bob Dylan. I've said it a million times. There's I don't ever recommend anybody listening to Bob Dylan for the first time, starting at his newer records and then working your way back. Like you got to start at the beginning and then go forward.
Right.
But God damn, I mean, there he'd have these 6-7 minute songs, and you'd be like, dude, just die. Like have the character die already.
Yeah, get to the fucking point.
Get to the point. Like, but that's the thing. It's like there's something about a musical groove that when it's really feeling. I didn't feel like any of this record dragged on, and I gave this record about 2 listens. Like I said, I really wish I could have had one more day with it. Like I'm driving to Philly tomorrow, and I would have been like, oh man, like I'm definitely going to listen to this on the way down. But just that's what I'm saying. It's like you'll get to a place in a record, especially on the listening right before the pod. We're like, all right, man, like, get to the next song. Like, do I need to listen to the rest of this? And I didn't skip any of it, and that's saying something. So. Congrats to the Meters.
Yeah.
Can you fuck to this record, or have you? You probably have fucked to this.
I have, dude. I have not fucked to this record. I'm really like, I generally don't fuck to music. Is that weird? No, I mean it's not like I don't take. It's not like I take the time to like put on the record. Like it's not like I won't fuck if some music is on. But I'm not like taking the time to like select a special record. Like, all right, we're fucking to fucking Marvin Gaye tonight, or like, all right, we're gonna put on the Meyers Rejuvenation.
Yeah,
I'm just not. But yeah, you could totally fuck to this record, dude.
I think you can.
Here's
the thing though, Boogie. Boogie, you could if you taking the time out. I mean, I'm not asking you to like get up and turn on the record player and find an LP and put it on. But there's in our day and age, we have things where you can just be like, Alexa, play my booty playlist, and like give me 2 seconds. She's about to.
You're right.
Yeah, she'll start playing it right now. Hold up.
Then the booty song will come on.
It's on right now.
The booty song.
No, you're talking about.
Oh, there's a song called "The Booty." There's a song. Booty. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, you know that.
Then I'll lose my. I'll lose my boner. I mean, no, it's such a terrible song.
Dude. Wow, man. Big shout out to you for bringing that up. I forgot about that. My ex-girlfriend.
You forgot about this song?
No, but the booty song that reminded me of my ex Tessa. She used to love that song, and like she knew all the words to it. And it was such a cute song. Like, give me that booty, my booty, your booty, my booty.
Yeah. Yeah, any word you can put before booty, I think the fucking guy did.
He really did. What would be your elevator pitch to get someone to listen to this record? How do you sum up the Meters Rejuvenation to somebody that's never heard of them, or you want to get somebody to listen to this? How do you get them to do it?
Man, if you want to dance, if you want to move, if you just want to feel loose and happy, I mean that's what this record brings. I mean, this is a joyful, happy record, man. It promotes good times,
It really does.
It does. It's definitely not a blues record. It's not going to bring you down. It's going to lift you up from the very first track,
all the way through Africa. Boogie, yeah. You're gonna do it, dude. I can tell, man. You're a super talented guy, and you're such good energy. Just stop playing behind your back when you get in fucking your.
I know when I get chances to play with stars. I mean,
just tone it down.
Yeah.
Just fucking, yeah. I know it's hard, but just fucking. Sometimes just get a base hit. You don't need to hit a home run every time.
That was 20 years ago almost, I mean,
you're still doing it. Don't act like you're not, motherfucker.
I've grown as a man.
No, you're a great dude, and I'm really happy that Emily set this up. Please promote the album, promote your stuff. Here's your moment. Go ahead. We'll do it at the beginning and the end as well, but promote away.
My new record comes out November 14th, Courage in the Chaos. Go check out the new single, A Fool Can See, with the music video out on YouTube. Follow me at Boogie Long on TikTok, because I get on there and shred the backing tracks. Come on there and pitch a hard song to me, blow my mind, Come on out. Love to see everybody.
Guys, support this guy, and if you're at Skankfest, we're gonna link up after this, and I'll make sure that you come out and jam, and also we'll pick a song. Send us, make sure you give us a song so we can play at the end of the episode to help further promote you. And when the album drops in November, I'll make sure that make sure that's in our in my intro or outro so I can give him a shout out. Cool.
Yeah. I'll send you a Fool Can See, which is my new single. So
I'd love that. Dude, this was great, man. I can't thank you enough.
Man, it's my pleasure. I look forward to seeing you in November, bro.